ESPN News, 250 plus markets across the United States of America. Check your AM/FM listing nearest you, plus ESPN Radio on Sirius XM Channel 80, plus ESPN Radio simulcast over the live national television airwaves of ESPN News. Number to call is always 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-3776. Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes it easy to compare quotes and get a great rate with the Home Quote Explorer only at Progressive.com. Time for Straight Talk brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Listen, I know y'all are happy. To some degree, some of you out there, or at least you work for one half, because you saw Eli Manning, 15 to 30, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, blitzed the Philadelphia Eagles in the first half, before coming back down to earth and ultimately succumbing to age, attrition, and everything that comes along with it. He is 38 years of age, after all, having turned 38 or will be 39 years of age as of January 3rd. Listen, here's the reality of the situation. For the purposes of Eli Manning and the first family of football, that is the Manning family, the wife Abby in attendance, Peyton Manning, the brother, I think Cooper was there as well. The Manning family was in full effect at Lincoln Financial Field. And Eli Manning had his family there because this very well could have been his last start of his National Football League career. He doesn't know if he's going to start next week or the week after. He doesn't know if he's going to play next season or beyond. But I'm here to tell you, after watching him last night, particularly in that second half, it's time. I agree with my man Ryan Clark, NFL analyst extraordinaire for ESPN, when he said it is time that Eli Manning retire from the game of football following this season. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not an insult. That's not an insult. Eli Manning, in all likelihood, will be a Hall of Famer. Eli Manning didn't miss a start from 2005 to 2017. That's 12 years. Obviously, sat out one game in 2017, started all games last year before being benched 2 games into this season in favor of Daniel Jones, the new franchise quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry, for the New York Giants. The Philadelphia Eagles won the game last night in overtime. I'm here to tell you there was nothing to brag about. Ronald Darby was being taken to school a little bit in that first half. No doubt about it. It was not comfortable to see. But give Doug Peterson, Schwartz, and the defense credit for the Philadelphia Eagles. Showed up in the second half, completely shut the New York Giants out in the third and fourth quarter and overtime. They surrendered those 17 points in the second quarter. Aldrich Rojas field goal. And, of course, another 55-yard pass to Slayton as well. Both was on Darby, who was just getting schooled. Eagles secondary is trash. Let's just call it what it is. I'm not calling them individually as trash because for all we know, they could play in some zone. Missed assignments may take place, etc. I'm not calling any player out. I'm saying as a defense collectively, they just don't look impressive. This kid, Boston Scott, to me, was the player of the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Running the football, catching passes out of the backfield. Little dynamo was sensational and should have been playing a hell of a lot more this season. Zach Ertz with his 2-yard pass to send the game into overtime. Then there's another 2-yard pass, ultimately in overtime to win the deal. Give credit where credit is due. Here's the deal. They're not the story. Eli Manning was the story. And Eli Manning is the story because it's official. It's over. We knew this before. It's not news. But seeing him last night playing in that first half, it gave you cause to pause. It made you wonder what he could be able to do. It made you even wonder whether or not he could still start for some teams in the National Football League. That's not the case anymore. His body just can't take it. At 38 years of age, listen, it's over. It's over. He don't need to go to Los Angeles for the Chargers. He don't need to go to Jacksonville in case they give up on Foles. He don't need to go nowhere. He needs to retire. We appreciate his years of service, the 2 Super Bowl championships, the bomb down the left sideline of Mario Manningham in 1 Super Bowl. The miraculous catch by David Tyree and another, not necessarily in that order. Eli Manning is to be appreciated. Eli Manning is to be respected. Eli Manning is to be recognized fully as a guy that New York Giants fans the world over are indebted to for eternity, for football eternity. But I'm here to tell you right now, not to be the bearer of bad news. I have no doubt in my mind that Eli Manning will end up in Canton, Ohio for the Hall of Fame. I also have no doubt in my mind that he doesn't deserve it. I'm not trying to be negative. I have such profound respect for him, his class, his dignity, his professionalism, the Iron Man tendencies, not missing a start, always there, trustworthy, reliable, just classy. But ladies and gentlemen, it's hard for me to give a Hall of Fame tag to a quarterback with a career 116 and 117 record as we speak, to a guy that's been in the league for many, many years. I mean, we're talking about 15-year career here. Eli Manning has been to the playoffs 6 times. We're talking about going to the playoffs 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, then missing 2009, 2010, then going back 2011, and then after that, missing 2012, 13, 14, 15. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about large chunks, gaps, where he didn't even make the postseason. I mean, what are we going to do, y'all? We're going to sit up here and act like those are Hall of Fame credentials? We're going to be able to and act like he belongs in the same room as Marino, as Breeze, as Brady, hell, as his brother? That's what we're going to act like? I don't know about that. Now, again, I know he's going to make the Hall of Fame because it's hard to leave a 2-time Super Bowl champion out of the Hall of Fame. And it's not like he didn't have great moments in the postseason to validate, to some degree, those who would be proponents of him being in the Hall of Fame. But my Hall of Famers don't have a 500 record or less. My Hall of Famers don't spend chunks and chunks of time being outside of the postseason looking in. My Hall of Famers at least have to have some semblance of greatness associated with them. Who has ever once accused Eli Manning of being great? One time. He's led the league in interceptions on 3 occasions, if I remember correctly. I believe it was 2007, 2010, 2013. I think so. I'm not sure. A career 59.7% completion. I'm sorry, 60.3. I apologize. 56,740 yards. That's significant. 364 touchdowns. That's significant. Also 241 interceptions. That's significant. He's got more Super Bowls than Brett Favre. I know. He's got more Super Bowls than Drew Brees. I know. Got just as many Super Bowls as Big Ben Roethlisberger. I know. But I'm just looking at the amount of times the playoffs have been missed. And it affects me. I'm just looking at it. I'm just trying to be honest. Since 2008, the Giants have made the Super Bowl 2 times in the last 10 years. I don't know what you want me to say about that. We talk about him. We talk about guys like Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, he's a Hall of Famer. That's what people tell us. I love Phillip Rivers. Classy dude, great family man. Damn good quarterback. I'm sure you could blame the Chargers a lot for their lack of success over the years. I'm sure you can do that. especially with Phil Rivers taking in the same draft as the Chargers. The Chargers have never, ever, ever been to the Super Bowl with Phillip Rivers. They lost to the Super Bowl in 1994. We know that. Bobby Ross was their coach. Junior Seau was their star. Those years, Schottenheimer coached them from 2002 to 2006. 5 seasons. LaDainian Tomlinson was their star running back. Drew Brees was a quarterback for 4 of those years before Rivers came along. Lost divisional playoff round, conference, divisional playoff round. 4 years. All were Rivers. And ever since those 4 consecutive years, he was in the postseason. They've made the playoffs 2 times in the last 9 years. If we're being honest, how is that a Hall of Famer? I'm just asking. He's got 58,404 yards and 394 touchdowns. I guess you could look at it in the numbers. I guess you could say it's a team sport. But I'm just saying, when you've missed the playoffs that much, I don't know if I could put you in the same. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess if it's a house, you can go to the Hall of Fame. But there's certain rooms you don't belong in. I'm the same way with basketball, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, no disrespect. I respect all these great players. But a Patrick Ewing, a Reggie Miller, a Chris Mullin, and great guys like that, clutch players and stuff like that. Even Charles Barkley, my brother, I love him. I can put you in the same house. Can't put you in the same room as Michael Jordan. I can't put you in the same room as Isaiah Thomas. I can't put you in the same room as Shaq, as Kobe, as Akeem the Dream Olajuwon. I can't put you in the same room as those guys. Guess what? I wouldn't even put David Robinson in there if it wasn't for Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan with MJ and Isaiah and Olajuwon and Shaq and those boys. He belongs in that room. He does. Guess what? I'd have to put Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker up in there because they're multiple-time champions who Tim Duncan needed. Scottie Pippen. And it's not always about individually whether or not you're better. But if you got a pivotal role, you got to play it. That's just me. I think Kurt Warner lost a couple of Super Bowls. He won one and he's been to 3, if I remember correctly. I can't ignore that. Guys like that, it's a special room. Michael Irvin, special room. Prime time, special room. Dallas and San Francisco, that's a special room. Charles Haley, that's a special room. So you might get into the Hall of Fame, but there's one thing to get into the Hall of Fame where, okay, we accept it, we understand. There's another thing entirely when it's like, man, put that man in the Hall of Fame. Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. Got to do it.